Hey guys, welcome to our review of Batman and Robin, issue number 19. Even though the title does say Batman Red Robin, I'm still titling it Batman and Robin, just for, paying my respects to Damian Wayne. And because that's what it was originally called, and I'm not going to change the title whatsoever, even though DC has done it. But, I want to give you my review and my thoughts on this issue, because I thought this issue was pretty good, but the major news that's been going on in DC, everything has to do with the Bat family, is basically this title right here that says, "Is the Dark Knight's new partner ... And this is actually a fold-out two-page spread cover, if you want to say that, or fold-out cover, which I don't understand why they don't do a wraparound. I'll show you. But basically, this big controversy or news has been up on DC about the new partner being Carrie Kelly herself. So before I start this review, I have to give people or newcomers to, comic books, or who actually are picking up, DC Comics after the reboot, I need to introduce you guys who Carrie Kelly actually is. Carrie Kelly made her first appearance in the miniseries, or Elseworld miniseries, titled The Dark Knight Returns, which is written by Frank Miller. It's actually a pretty darn good book. Now, this book actually takes place after the events of Jason Todd's death, 50 years, prior to that, or after the events, and basically Bruce Wayne, also known as Batman, of course, hung up his cape and cowl and has, forbid himself from being Batman anymore after Jason Todd's death. But after 50 years, he's felt, empty, and he feels like he needs to be Batman again because, crime rates has gone, at an all-time high in Gotham City, and also he's been getting visions of bats and stuff like that telling him that he needs to be Batman again. So he dons back the bat cape and cowl and goes out and fights crime again, and alongside Carrie Kelly, who's 13 years old at the time, becomes his Robin and partner in crime. And that's basically it. That's just me summarizing what actually is, or how Carrie Kelly is introduced in this book. But this is an Elseworld story. At first, Carrie Kelly was never ever canon. She was never... she never appeared in any other Bat books. She was only strictly in this book. She has made appearances in the Batman animated series. She's also appeared in, of course, Dark Knight Returns animated film. She's also appeared in Batman the Brave and the Bold issue, where all the Robins gather together to help out Batman. But that's just, part of a cartoon series and actually a main DC book. But that's how Carrie Kelly was introduced. And now she's actually part of the mainstream universe, and there's a lot of controversy going around the internet, and I will explain how it actually works. But let's get on to my review. So, of course, we open this issue up with an introduction to Carrie Kelly. We find out that she's actually in college, and we find out that she's also been spending time with Damian Wayne. She's the one who actually sent, or basically wrote a note about these different types of movies that we were implied for, Bruce Wayne to watch, was actually for Damian. She's been the one who's actually been, writing this list of movies down for Damian to watch. She's actually been spending time with him in order to actually get money from him in order to pay for her rent. But that's all we know about her so far. And the rest of the main storyline is basically about Bruce going to, I think, the Arctics, meeting up with Frankenstein, who is part of the group called the S.H.A.D.E, who actually had their own issue series going on, but it got canceled. DC Comics, what are you doing? And actually basically dove into the idea of how Bruce can actually use Frankenstein in order to bring back Damian by actually looking at how Frankenstein was made and how he came alive. Because, of course, we all know Frankenstein is actually undead, and he's actually still living for some reason. But Bruce wants to get that idea so he can implement it into Damian so he can come back and be his son again. Because, of course, we all know Bruce is still distraught over Damian's death, and he's still very, very depressed and very, very angry and frustrated with everything that goes around him. But, of course, Alfred, being the awesome butler he is worried about Bruce, not knowing what he's doing, sends over Red Robin, also known as Tim Drake, who's actually part of the Teen Titans at the moment. He takes Tim Drake, or sends a message to him, so he can actually help out Bruce to see what's going on. That's why the title is called Batman and Red Robin. And I won't spoil the ending. I will let you guys figure out on your own what happens, what Bruce is doing, how Tim solves this whole entire mess out, and that's basically generally how this issue is what's all about. That's my summarize of it. Now, also mentioning that throughout the next Bat books, or Batman and Robin books, different members of the Bat family will be introduced, not introduced, but they will be coming in for a one-issue series, one issue, just, helping Bruce out with his problems and issue with Damian's death. Leading on to what's going to happen next, I don't know, but all I know is one member from the Bat family will be introduced every single issue, just helping out Bruce along the way. Now, this issue, to me, was fairly decent. Actually, not decent. It's actually pretty good. I actually like the concept of Bruce actually going to Frankenstein, actually dissecting him and trying to figure out how he can use, Frankenstein to bring back Damian. Now, I know a lot of fans who read Batman out there know, of course, it's an easy step process. All you have to do is just use the Lazarus Pit. To that, I say no. And why do I say no? It's because it's too darn easy. It's too darn easy, and plus it also defeats the purpose of Damian Wayne because of the fact that, of course, Bruce would be repeating his mistake with Jason Todd yet again, and I don't think he wants to do that. So I like how the fact that they're actually changing it up. They're not actually just going for the easy route, just using the Lazarus Pit. Also, I say that if you do that, you will basically destroy Damian as a whole. Damian has been created from a very, just a really annoying little brat, you get disgusted with, to a very heroic character who everybody seemed to like nowadays. I even like him. He's actually considered one of my favorite Robins. And to actually throw him back in the Lazarus Pit, to make him crazy again, making him back to the crazy, dementic, sadistic Robin or Damian Wayne again, would just defeat the purpose of his character. It would just destroy all his character development he's had over the 6 years. And that really just doesn't do it for me. It would not do it for me. I don't think it would even work for fans out there as well. So if people are saying, just use the Lazarus Pit, that's my reason, and hopefully, it gets to you guys out there. So I do like the fact that he's changing it up, trying to figure out how Frankenstein works. And, while they're doing it, Frankenstein's trying to persuade Bruce not to actually do this. Because, this is wrong. He's undead. He's actually not a living soul. So if you bring back Damian, he won't have a living soul. He's just an undead body. He will have a body, but of course, Bruce, who's stubborn as he is, of course, just tells Frankenstein that, no, I will do anything to bring back my son. I would say excluding the Lazarus Pit part. But, of course, that's just a change-up, which I found very interesting, and is actually pretty good. I actually liked it. Tim Drake's involvement in this issue was alright, I guess. It really didn't do much. It was more about the Frankenstein and Batman kind of thing going on in the story. It didn't really have to do much with Tim Drake. Personally, I would say that's just my opinion. But yeah, I'm just great to seeing, just different Bat family members coming in to maybe, help out Bruce, and in the end they actually come back together as a family. But we'll see what happens next. Now, a lot of people are saying, how the hell is Carrie Kelly canon? How is she actually in this universe because she's in an Elseworld book? Well, I mean, when I was actually pissed too. I was one of those fans of hey, we shouldn't have Carrie Kelly. She's in an Elseworld book. She's not supposed to be mainstream. Well, technically, she is mainstream. She just isn't part of it just yet. She is in the mainstream universe, just not actually part of the Bat family. Because of the fact that if you actually, of course, I actually took some time thinking about it. Carrie Kelly was 13 years old in the Batman books, okay? She was in the Dark Knight book. She was 13 years old, and that means in this universe she was technically alive. Everybody says, there's Elseworld stories. If there's Elseworld stories of these characters, that means these characters are actually part of the main storyline. They just haven't been a part of, the mainstream universe yet. They just aren't actually being used in the mainstream universe. They're used in other books, not, the main ones. So Carrie Kelly is part of the storyline. She just isn't around, She just isn't around in this time, but now she's part of it. So she's in college now, which is understandable because Bruce took her in at the age of 50, but it's kind of like that whole time kind of thing going on. I mean, like I said, she becomes his partner after 50 years of Bruce not being Batman after Jason Todd's death. But I guess you can say maybe she was 13 years old when Jason Todd died. Then after a few years in this mainstream universe, she's a college student now, which, I don't know, to me it kind of makes sense. I don't know, it's kind of confusing, but You know, to me, that's how I see it. You know, she was 13 years old when Jason Todd died, and now she's currently in college. You know, excluding the whole Dark Knight thing, you know. I mean, that's how I think it would work. That's why she's in part of the mainstream. Now she's in this book. But my minor gripe about this book is Carrie Kelly herself, because of the fact that she's written to sound like she's supposed to be freaking Steph Brown. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, like, yeah, you know, we're never going to get Steph Brown back, okay? Just forget it. It's a lost cause. Just don't even care about it. That dream is gone. Well, to you guys, I say this. I wouldn't mind, okay? I wouldn't mind if they just stop, you know, just don't use Stephanie Brown. Okay, fine, DC. You don't want to listen to your fans? Fine. But don't do this to us because of the fact that Carrie Kelly, to me, resembles Steph Brown a lot. Okay, not like a lot, but like to me, it's like a character she would be. You know, Steph Brown, seeing her in this issue. For one, she's in college. Steph Brown at the time was in college when she was doing her run as Batgirl. She was in college, and also the fact that she spent a lot of time with Damian in her book. She would have, actually patrols with him, and she would actually spend time with him, actually cracking jokes up, you know, trying to make Damian open up and have fun. Now, what Carrie Kelly is doing in this issue, or what is implemented, and actually explained, is that she's been spending time with him for the past few months. Watching movies, playing video games, I don't know why. I bet you it will be explained, but to me, why Carrie Kelly? Explain to me why the hell in the world, out of everybody not Tim Drake, but Damian Wayne could spend time with, why Carrie Kelly? Explain to me. It makes sense if he wanted to spend time more with Stephanie Brown or Dick Grayson, you know. But Dick Grayson's doing his own thing with Nightwing. But it would make sense if Steph Brown was here because, for one fact, like I said, Steph Brown has been trying so hard to open up Damian, trying to make him have fun. This is something I see Steph Brown doing. You know, her in college, spending time with Damian, trying to have fun with him by playing video games, watching movies, and also getting money on the side to pay off her college tuition, which actually would make sense now because of the fact that Oracle wasn't around, because Oracle used to fund Steph Brown's run as Batgirl. She used to, you know, she paid for her base of operation, for her gadgets, for her suit, you know, and everything like that. You know, Bruce didn't really do that for Steph Brown because he wasn't there at the time and Dick Grayson was Batman. But, you know, it would have been a great premises for Steph Brown, but it's given to Carrie Kelly, which doesn't make sense. I understand, okay, I'm fine with Carrie Kelly coming into this universe now, but I just don't like how she's written to the point where I'm like, really, she just seems like a Steph Brown character to me. Other than that, I did like this issue. It was just the whole Carrie Kelly just seeming like she's Steph Brown. Maybe that's just me. But to the point, I actually do like this issue. It was fantastic, in my opinion. It was great how they found a different way for Bruce to actually try to bring back Damian. And, you know, does it happen? Will it happen? I don't know. You have to read this issue for yourself because I don't want to spoil it. Because actually it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good, in my opinion. But yeah. It's a fairly decent book, and, you know, like I said, if you guys want to get introduced to Carrie Kelly, I guess this is a way for fans to actually, you know, for newcomers to be introduced to her, I guess, you know, but for old-comers, they might see the Steph Brown resemblance, they might not like it because she was in an Elseworld book, but now she's mainstream. I really honestly don't know, you know, how other people feel. I mean, if you guys want to let me know how you guys felt about this issue, just let me know in the comments below. I mean, I give you my opinion. That's how I feel, and I'm going to stick with it. You know, I actually took some time and thought about it. I actually finished reading it last night, and, you know, trust me, I do like Carrie Kelly. I just personally, I don't know why she kind of resembles Steph Brown, honestly. And then the whole point of now she could be the potential Robin is just like, what? And actually they did in the whole news thing on in the back issue, you know, where they have this New 52 news line with, I forgot which book, Calendar Man and Vicky Vale, and then, like, you know, they said, like, there's a girl Robin on, like, Facebook or Twitter, and she's, like, posting up pictures of herself as Robin or whatever, or hopefully she can friend me on Facebook or whatever. I'm like, really? Are you kidding me? So you're telling me either Carrie Kelly could be Robin or Harper Row, but as of now, I don't even see Harper Row as not Batgirl, but Robin, you know. It's strictly Carrie Kelly at this moment, you know. Because of the fact that she does wear a Robin costume when she's at a party, which is so subtle, you know, just telling people, yeah, you could be Robin. But You know, I don't know what's going to happen next, so we'll see if Carrie Kelly will come back, which I would love to see. You know, explain more about Carrie Kelly, see more of the Bat family together again in this series, and yeah, I would rate this issue decent. I would say between a 4 out of 3.5. I would say 4. You know, it's decent. You know, it's not bad. It's not a great book. It's just, you know, a decent read, and it just changes things up a bit. Just my minor nitpick of the whole Carrie Kelly thing. But yeah, other than that, hopefully guys, you know, like this review, and hopefully, you know, you stick around and see my next review. So yeah, and I'll see you guys later. Hopefully I'll do an update next, and thanks for watching, guys. Very appreciate it very much from you guys. So see you guys.